Hello viewers, welcome to CCLMS portal. I am G. Catherin, working as lecturer in zoology in Government Degree College Autonomous Guntur. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic on records to be maintained in a diary form. Before going to the topic, let us see the learning objectives of the today's topic. At the end of the class, the students are able to understand the importance of record keeping in a diary form, the various types of records that should be maintained in a diary form, criteria for good record keeping, methods of keeping records, factors affecting keeping records in a diary form. The last one is about benefits or advantages of record keeping. When we look at the introduction for this topic, for a successful and profitable business, record keeping in a diary form is very much essential and is extremely important. Without proper record keeping, the dairy farmers have to rely on their memories for making crucial decisions. But memories can become unreliable after a few days, months, or years. Maintenance of these records provides easy access to important information as and when required and also helps in measuring the progress of the business. Farmers must maintain the records from the moment they start procuring the animals for dairy farming. In a dairy farm, most of the time, records and their maintenance are ignored. The reasons for this could be lack of knowledge of different types of records, record maintenance, and interconnection of records. The different types of dairy farm records a farmer should keep to run a successful farm business are: first one is livestock register. Livestock register records the number of the animals at the farm along with their identification number, date of birth, sire number, dam number, calf and its sex, date of calving, date of purchase, date of sale or auction or death. The next register is calving register. Records of calving that takes place in the farm are recorded in this register. It includes dam number, sire number of the calves, calf number, sex and its date of birth, and any other remarks like type of calving, whether it is normal or abnormal delivery. The third type of record is daily milk yield register. In this record, daily milk yield performance of the cows are registered or entered in this record. The fourth record is calf register. This register has records of calf at the farm, calf number, sex of the calf, sire number, dam number, birth weight, etc. The fifth type of record that should be maintained in a dairy farm is growth record of young stock. In this register, the weight of the young stocks at different intervals will be recorded. The sixth type of register is daily feeding register. The amount of concentrate feed, dry fodder, green fodder, and other feeds given to the animals daily will be recorded in this register. The seventh type of record is herd health register, the record of the diseased animals along with history, symptoms, diagnosed disease, treatment given, and the name of the veterinarian who treated this disease is recorded in this register. The next type of register is cattle breeding register. The details of breeding practices in the farm such as cow number, date of calving, date of heat and services along with bull number, date of successful service, pregnancy diagnosis records, expected date of calving, actual date of calving, calf number, etc. will be recorded in this cattle breeding register. When we look at the other aspect of record keeping, that is criteria for good record keeping in a diary form, several sets of records that must be kept in diary form inevitably involve much of the farmer's time. The records that are maintained should satisfy the following criteria. The first criterion is the records must be useful and leads to actions being taken. The data recorded must be easily converted into information, and the record keeping systems must be simple. Duplication of the data must be avoided as much as possible. So these are the various criteria for good record keeping in a diary form. When we look at the methods of record keeping can be achieved through a variety of methods, from a basic manual method to an elaborate computerized method. Selecting these methods depends on the size of the herd that are to be maintained in the farm, the expected use of the records, type of farms, and the individuals who own the farm. When we look at the other aspect, like factors affecting keeping of dairy farm records, so record keeping is affected or influenced by certain factors. Record keeping is independent of age of the farmer, gender of the farmer, farm size, and the level of formal education and years of experience of the farmer. Research have shown that there was a significant relationship between farm record keeping and farmer status. The owners of the large farms tend to keep farm records than those with small farms. Full-time farmers tend to keep records than part-time farmers. Farmers who keep records have higher income. When we look at the constraints of keeping farm record keeping often seems to be an easy task by most of the farmers. But farmers are faced with constraints which cause their inability to keep farm records. So, the constraints include high levels of illiteracy and low numeracy levels of the farmers. The farmers are unable to keep the records, and most of the farmers they engage in several enterprises and mixed farming systems, and thus farm record keeping requires much of their time. So they are unable to maintain these records. The last aspect of record keeping is benefits of record keeping in a dairy farm, or can also be called as advantages of record keeping. The first advantage of record keeping is record keeping helps in identifying the animals which are more productive for the farm, and after identifying we have to cull the rest of the animals. This helps in maintaining the size of the farm. The second advantage is it helps in the financial planning of the farm by determining the inflow and outflow of the products, which in turn helps in determining the net profit of the farm and what we have to plan ahead after getting the profit or loss. The third advantage is it is an excellent tool for keeping a check on the vaccination schedule, diseases, or any other unusual activities which are taking in the farm. The fourth advantage is it also helps in estimating the cost of milk production. The fifth advantage is feeding records help in maintaining healthy meals for the animals and thus increasing the overall yield of the milk. The other advantages include the price of the products can also be determined by record keeping. Procurement and selling of animals become easy when you have access to the entire records of the animals. They help in detection of abnormal conditions or disease status of the herd, which leads to loss of the milk production and loss in body weight of the animals. It also helps in testing of progeny, which is more desirable in case of inbreeding. Record keeping is also effective in the overall management of the farm. So these are all the various benefits of record keeping. Thank you all for giving me this wonderful opportunity.